My name is Valerie Rennie. I'm 63 years old, and this is my story. Well, I had a pretty good upbringing. I was raised, my mom was a pastor of a church, so I was raised in a Christian home. 18 when I had my first child, and my mom was gracious to, not condemn me, but to be at my side, to, encourage me. So I met my husband, my first husband. I actually saw him first in a bus. I was going somewhere, he was in a bus, and our eyes kind of like, he was very cute. And then after a friend invited me to a party, and at the party, there he was. And we just danced the night away. And so we dated for like a year, but he was very controlling. Once I started dating with him, he did not want me to hang out with my friends. Like it was just me and him. If I had to do something with one of my friends and he didn't want me to do it, and if I insist on doing it, then he'll start pulling and shoving and escalated to, abusive behavior, physical. He will say that, he was sorry, that he didn't meant to do that he loved me, and then I will just, forgive him, and it was a disaster. So the red flag that I started to see is that before the abuse started, is that he was very jealous, very possessive. Like he just wanted me to be isolated with him, and could not have my friends around, or could not go anywhere without him, or do anything without him. He never wanted me to work, and just controlling, very controlling. Like after the 6 months, and then it just escalated from there. I just accepted it. I didn't, he always apologized and always say that he didn't meant to do it and he's sorry, and then we move on, and then it happened again and again. Sometimes we think that people are gonna change, or because they say they're going to change or they're going to do different, but what you see is what you get. Like, things doesn't change, it get worse. So after we got married, he was in the military, in the U.S. military. He was stationed in Panama. That's where I'm from. And that's where we met. He was transferred to California. And at the time, my papers wasn't ready as yet, so he went and I stayed. And then a couple months after, maybe like 4 months after he left, he came back. When he came back, that's when I got pregnant with my second child, and we moved to California. He will go to his training and he'll come back, and a friend of mine would come. They have cars, so they'll come and visit me or something while he was away, or take me to the grocery store to get food because I didn't drive. So he will come back, and then you will see like a tire in the driveway, and he will be like asking my daughter, like, who came here today? Where did mommy go today? Whose car was here? And he will get like really paranoid, and then he'll start a fight. Like he'll start abusing me because he thought somebody came. I guess he's thinking like some man or somebody came, and I will say, it was my friend. She came, and so he would just go like crazy. He'll start hitting me, and my daughter, she'll start to cover her face, when she saw us fighting. And the other one was a baby. So, so that went on. for a while. And sometimes he will just like go away like for the weekend and leave us there. And he will, I don't know where he went, but he would just disappear. And of course, I can't get around or anything. And then he'll come back, and then, I'll ask him where he went, and he won't like it. And then there's a fight starts. So we had a big window like this one. And one day he like punched me my face into the window. And, my face was all bloody, and the neighbors, I don't know, they heard and called the police. And the police came, and he said, like, what happened? What's wrong? And they say, did he hit you? And I was like, no, he didn't hit me. Like, and the police like, but your face is bloody, like you're bleeding. How can you say he didn't hit you? They took him out of the house and left us there. And I had an uncle in New York at the time, so that was the closest relative that I knew of that I had. And we are in California, and he's in New York. So I called my uncle, and I told him what was happening. And my uncle told me that I had a cousin in San Francisco, which is his daughter, but I never knew her. We talked to his daughter, and his daughter said that I could come to her house. And I got on a bus and went to San Francisco to my cousin's house that I never met. And then they called my mom and let my mom know what happened. So my mom came to California. She came to my cousin's house, and we all went over to where I was living, and they begged him to let them take me back to Panama, because my nerves were shattered. I ended up in the hospital with almost a nervous breakdown because of all the abuse that I said, and I didn't grow up in a house like that. I wasn't used to that, and here I am in a country, that I don't know. I didn't have any support. And so my mom came, and they begged them to let me go back to Panama so that I could get some rest and recuperate. So when I went back to Panama, I was very depressed, very sad. Then never thought about committing suicide, but definitely didn't have any desire to live. Just I thank God again for my parents, my brother, my family, because I just wanted to sleep. I just wanted to sleep. I didn't want it even to take a shower. I didn't want to comb my hair. I didn't want to do nothing. I was depressed. My brother got me to go to a therapist, and I will go every week and talk medication also for my depression. But what really helped me is talking to the therapist. Of course, my mom, strong believer, were praying. People were praying for me, all over. Once I started going to the therapist and going every week, it started getting better. I start feeling better about myself. I start, taking a shower and combing my hair and getting engaged with, things like, going to church. And I remember the therapist told me, he said, when things like this happen to women, there's two roads that they usually take, and you can choose which one you want to take. He said there are some women, when things happen to them like this, they go in the white path and, become women of the world, prostitute, whatever, out there sleeping around. And then there's women that take this and build in their life and become a better person, a stronger person. And thank God that by His help, this story, my life story, God turned it around and turned me into the woman that I am today. I just want to, encourage anybody that is in the first phase of what I go through. Don't wait. Don't continue and let it reach to how far, because I could be dead. I could have died. One of those blows could have killed me, but by the grace of God, that's my advice to any person that see the red flag. Please listen, turn around, because it won't end up good. And who knows, thank God I end up good, but it doesn't mean that everybody's gonna have the same story. Well, my life right now, I'm blessed. I have my 3 beautiful daughters, let us say. I have my grandkids. I have a supportive husband, very hardworking, workaholic, but I'd rather him to be workaholic than to be a bum, and he support me and love me and love my family, and I'm walking with the Lord. And, as I said, life is not perfect. It's not always a bed of roses, but I have God peace. And, He can do exceeding abundantly more than I could think or imagine. I'm clinging to Him and trusting Him for everything. So I'm blessed and highly favored.